the Finsweet Exfoliation Center for Peace and Love. Yeah, we're here. We're in Merida. We're exfoliating. We got to stay young in this no-code game. That's what we're doing here. We have very, very weird hiring at Finsweet. Really weird. I mean, we probably spend less time and money on hiring than 99.99% of all companies in the world. A lot of the time, I speak to you once, or I don't even speak to you at all, and you're joining the team, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, companies go through HR this, bullshit this, bullshit this. We don't do any of that. No interviews. Sometimes talking to you, I'm not even asking questions about your qualifications or what you do. Just checking to see if you're a good person. That's really the top qualification. I have to enjoy talking to you. You have to be a good person. I have to feel that you're passionate and that you're going to work hard. And everybody gets the chance to go improve themselves in that journey. You get your job. If you prove yourself, you keep working with us. If you don't, you don't work with us. But it's actually turned out that everybody proves themselves.
Okay, what is up, Joe? Oh, hey, video. Hello? All right, there you go. It's like, where's the video? What's up, everyone? So, welcome back to another episode of Evan Growth. I'm here with Joe still in Merida. I know Penny was asking, Rymar, where are you today? I'm here. We're here through the week. And then, let's see, we're going to Guadalajara this weekend. And I'll be in another spot the following week. So we'll be back to remote again the following week. And this episode is kind of like we're recapping last week. We didn't have a whole lot of time last week to prepare content, to do a lot of stuff. We were focused on the team. We were focused on kind of being in person and getting together and hanging out. And so we didn't spend a ton of time kind of prepping content for this week, but we didn't want to cancel the episode. And so here we are. We're going to review some of the footage from last week. We're going to look at some of the things. We're going to talk about where we're headed kind of as an organization. Joe's got a little announcement on attributes. So, not attributes, right? Yeah, attributes.
Yeah, attributes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, we're just going to recap and run through a few things.
Nice.
Sometimes I get my words mixed up. So anyway, what's up, everyone who's with us? Let's see, Ezekiel in the house, Dale Jensen, Tanette, what's up? Maria, hey Maria, what's up? It's good to see you. We need to do a hangout soon. Nick, hello. Looks like Wallison, Rohan's in the house, Muhammad, Magdalena, Penny, Stephen Hilario, Jay Poucher, what up? Colleen Brady in the house, y'all. No Code herself is here. The community connector, Colleen Brady, what's up? Pablo Cortez, Grace Walker. What's up, Grace? Yeah, forgot I had this tab open and volume way up. So here we are. Welcome to that. Who else is here? Randall Johnson, Gabe Perez, what's up? Alex Iglesias. Oh, yo, Alex, did you get home? Okay, we're going to see you a little bit later in the show. We've got a little clip of Alex in here. Mariella, Shane Grady, Blue Ocean, Yannick, Nick. Wow, Scott, everybody's here today. What's up? 40 of you in the house. Let's get those likes popping on this video. And I think most of y'all are probably subscribed, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the Finsweet channel so you can keep up with these updates. And first things first, let's run through, I think one of the things Joe and I have talked about a little bit is how do we use this platform to help other people kind of elevate their standing in the community and get to the next level. And we were waiting for this Webflow Community Alliance to have a little bit more traction and buy-in confirmation from Webflow. But that's kind of like dealing with the government at certain levels. And so while we go through that process, we're going to go and kind of start doing some of this other stuff. And so one of the things we want to do is promote different events and different things that are happening in the community that are relevant, especially people that interact, right? If you're in our audience and you're doing something in the community, we want the other people in the audience to know about it. You shouldn't have to fight for the same attention. And so we're going to start sharing some of that. And one of the things we're going to do, the first event, let's cut to this, is with Floxies. You've seen Claudia Cafeo, you've seen probably Maria and Mariella, and you've seen some of the ladies, who are really active in the Webflow community here. They've been doing really cool meetups in Gather as well. And so tomorrow they invited Harshit. It just happened to work out that they're going to be talking about Client First this week. And we're looking to figure out how we partner on some of that. So that event is going to be taking place in Gather. That's a private event, but we are going to stream the event. And we want to do this with other events and other things that are happening around the community. If you're doing something cool, maybe we stream it, let us know about it. We stream it to our YouTube channel, and we help bring attention to that. We'll promote it on our socials, etc. It's going to be an experiment, complete content experiment. The link to that is right here. And let me grab this share link. I'll copy that, and I'll come over to the live stream, and I'm just going to jump this right in there. So yeah, come check out what the Floxies are up to. Go check out floxiescommunity.webflow.io, and you can learn a little bit more about that organization. Tomorrow we will be streaming at noon Eastern time. We're going to stream their event with Harshit. It'll be cool. We'll take questions and feed them into the Gather space. And so, yeah, we'll see where that goes. This is the first of many community experiments like it, and we'll see what comes from that. The other thing we wanted to give a little shout out, even though this is sold out, it's sold out before we got a chance to mention it. It's this WTF, what the is no code. And this is Josh Fry. Josh Fry is the organizer of the Leeds Webflow meetup and has been involved with CloneComp. He was one of the winners last year and one of the winners this year. And so Josh is real active in the Webflow community, and he'll be speaking at that event. Again, I think you can still get on the wait list for this, but it might be sold out, like officially sold out. And then the other final thing is obviously the agenda for No Code Conf came out today. So if you're interested in kind of hearing and seeing what the different sessions are, who's going to be at the conference, who's going to be speaking, what that event is going to look like. And again, it's fully online. We did have plans to, let me see something here, actually. 1 second, I'm cropping my screen, I think. Let me zoom out of this screen a little bit. There we go. Now we get the whole thing. Okay. Where was I? Oh, No Code Conf. Yeah, we did have plans to go out to No Code Conf. Obviously, it's going to be online only, and so we won't be doing that. But we'll do something interesting. It would be cool to have some live watch parties, and so expect to see announcements about that. We'll probably have the Gather space wide open, and we'll create little areas for people to come and hang out and get some of that in-person feel while we hang out, right? So the Finsweek community and anybody who wants to join us will be able to jump in and kind of hang out. I don't know what all we're going to do for that, but we're going to do something. So, okay, I think that's it for announcements. We can come back to this view now and pull this one. Okay, and get to the disclaimer. All right. Any thoughts on the announcements, events?
Yeah, that was really nice, that set of announcements. And if you notice, it was all about other people. It was about people in the community that are doing cool things. And like Reimar said, we're trying to do more of this. We're trying to put more of you creators, more of you Webflow enthusiasts on the top. We want to get people to your events. We want to get people in this community talking and communicating. So yeah, I think that was a successful announcement line for these two events, and we're going to continue doing this. So please, if you're trying to advertise your event, do something cool in the community, reach out to us, let us know about it.
Yeah, and we're going to do this, I think, at the beginning of every show. Yeah. We're going to, during the week, we'll keep a run of things that are coming up. I'm sure this will get, people will start sending us stuff, so we will curate these, and we will kind of favor the folks that are engaging with us regularly. So we'll be looking to really kind of reciprocate for the folks who are, active every week, the people who engage with our social, et cetera, and we're playing with a couple other things that we can do to kind of get that moving kind of in a reciprocal sharing engine, if you will.
Yeah.
So you scratch our back, we're going to try to scratch your back, and we're going to try to put as many resources as we can into helping this community take the next step, and whatever that means to you. So again, thank you all for hanging with us. Claudia's doing good work over there. Colleen's doing good work over there. Josh, the whole Meetup network is doing awesome things, and we want to make sure that that's being exposed. The Webflow community program is going through some updating and internal updates right now. We're testing a few things, playing with a few things, not really sure how that's going to end up. And so look forward to some updates on that end from Webflow officially, but in the process, we'll keep doing events and things will be, like whatever we can get done there. So, okay. From there, the disclaimer. Joe, do you want to take a swing at disclaimer, or do you want me to do a disclaimer?
I will start with the disclaimer. We are going to be editing in public today, which is a new concept for our industry. A lot of people talk about building in public. We just started doing that. Thursdays we do live builds. We'll be teaching you building in Webflow. And today we're going to be editing footage, editing video in public. Last week the Finsweet team met, about 1/3 of the team met in person, and we filmed a lot of video. A lot of video. And Reimar yesterday went through, edited some clips, took out some really special moments, and we'll be showing you these video clips on this stream and talk about them. Talk about how our culture is starting to form. Talk about how this move from remote work is now going to in-person work and how that changes different. And yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen any of these. Even that intro clip, I never thought that I'd start a growth episode with mud on my face, right?
Like naked, like we're just in bathing
Yeah, thank you. I didn't see that.
So now you all know what we look like without clothes on. Like we can get real personal with each other right now. So have seen each other in our swimsuits. And so, and I don't really know. So here's what happened. I'll carry on the disclaimer just a little bit because I just got, I guess it would be yesterday, before the videographer got on his airplane, I get a hard drive with all this footage of basically everything we shot last week. And so I didn't really have enough time to go through and do some real nice, proper edits. And I just kind of had time to chunk some things together and pull a couple things in. And so what we're going to do is just scrub through some of that footage live. I think it'll be fun. We can bounce around whatever. Some of it has audio, some of it doesn't have audio. And so some of it will just kind of narrate in the background and we'll kind of talk about what was going on. And other stuff, we will just watch the little clip. There's a fun clip in there about some hot sauce. Joe is like the spicy sauce master. If you follow us on Instagram, you maybe saw a little live stream of that in action. We've got a ton of stuff in here, actually. Let me open, what's the first one? EditInPublic. Let's go. That's going to be hard because I'm looking at my notes and going to be seeing here. Okay, so I think the first one is kind of co-working here. Right, so I'll just let this play in the background here, and this is like the vibe at Casa de Campo. Oh, you know what we should have done is just show off the Casa de Campo. So switching modes. This is the space we're working in now, and it was kind of cool. So Joe, talk a little bit about first time full team. Oh, you know what? I'm not showing them the screen. All right, let's back this up a second. Okay, let's do this now. All right, so. Now we're back at Casa de Campo, which is this cool little boutique hotel, switching vibes, from Caribbean / tropical vibe into work vibes. And this is the co-working space that we're in now. But Joe, talk a little bit about working with the crew for the first time. This is the first time the whole group's together, sitting around a table. We brought the team in, we did some cool stuff with telecommunications, etc. Talk to me a little bit about this experience, working with the team for the first time in person.
It was cool. There were a lot of really cool things about it. This idea of instant feedback, this idea of just instantly being on the same page was very cool. Having the person right next to you as you're working felt nice. It also felt really distracting. I think unanimously we all came out and said, this was a great working experience. We're glad we did this, but we can't do this full time because someone's wanting to talk to you about this. Somebody else is talking about this. Somebody makes a funny joke on the other side of the room. So I found it really, really distracting, but awesome to see the team. I loved it.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience working in person versus online. And I think there were some parts that were amazing, like when we were doing the wireframes and people were kind of giving real-time feedback when you made the announcement, rather than being in our all-hands meeting and just kind of everybody being just a face on a screen. Like we made some really big announcements last week that we cannot share with you publicly yet, but we will soon. And it was like, it was like a different vibe. There's something to be said. It's like a whole no code versus code thing. What's happening here? We just lose audio. I lost my monitor. I'm not sure if the audio is going out. It's freezing. Work. I'm not sure what's happening here. I think I've lost my monitor. Let me just check this little thing. All right, sounds like we're back. Hello, check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Okay, so I think we're back. Not sure what happened there, but I lost my audio monitor. Hopefully the audio is coming through on the end. Rohan's saying, I definitely prefer working remotely. Jay Poucher, it was cool, but it sucked too. Yeah, it's kind of like that code versus no code thing. Where like, it's a blend. Yeah. You kind of want a little bit of a blend. I think there were some good things about being in person that you just can't recreate, outside of that. And then there were some other things that, like, you just can't get deep into that. You can't get into your deep work, right? Like, it was hard, even for me, having to set up and tear down, felt disconnected, from the team while they were doing some of the team activities, and I'm over here worried about media stuff. Yeah. And so, I don't know, like, it's
good things and bad things. I think most things you can say that there are good parts about it and bad parts about it. And I think once we realize the bad parts about it, we have a much deeper appreciation to how this company is set up full time. We have a deeper appreciation to what remote work is and how remote work can make us better in the workplace. If you have a really delicious burger and you think that burger is delicious, you can appreciate it more when you have 20 terrible burgers, right? You start to see the other side and you start to see what other burgers taste like. So this really good one gets even better and better. And that's how I felt about this remote work. I always like remote work, but now seeing the in-person, I know that we're on the right path working remotely. So that's great.
Yeah. There was something I was going to say there. Oh, the thing that I think is the most benefit is just having the opportunity to build the relationships, right? Yeah. Because there's things that you interact and there's nuances of an in-person interaction that you just don't get virtually, especially when you walk into a room. Like we found out that we have some class clowns. We found out like Eve is hilarious. Yep. Lou, it was like his laugh is contagious. You probably heard it in some of that footage. Like, and so you find out the little nuances about the people, which I think that helps then the remote culture. So it's like being in person really helps kind of forge those bonds, and then that allows us, I think, to work remotely better. And so, it's I don't know. I think there's a good blend. Part of me thinks that a month from now, when we're all back doing whatever we're doing, we're gonna miss being together.
Totally.
Right. And so it's like this catch-22 where while you're in it, you're like, oh, I like doing the remote thing, and then when you're remote, you're like, damn, I wish once in a while I could like go in and hang out with somebody. Yeah. So just lots of mixed feelings about that. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Let's see, setting up the screen, interviews. Let's look at some of these little clips. And I'm wondering if, to be honest, if the audio, if this happens again, we'll see. It may be the processor lagging again, but it shouldn't, because I'm using two separate computers here. But like, let's start. Who was our first interview that we were going to showcase? Eve. That's right. So let's find Eve in here, and let's see what Eve has got to say. Where's Eve? And again, these, I just realized my color grade is not going to come through on these. I had a color grade option on these, and when I use that on the Mac Mini, it's not compatible. And so don't judge us for our color correction here. again, as we edit in public. But yeah, let's see what Eve has to say about, well, let's just see.
Okay, to be here. Yeah, it's crazy to see people in 3D. We usually don't do that. We don't know how people look like. It's amazing. And I was thinking it's hard to work in this kind of place when you have everything together. But it's amazing when you need something quickly, you need to get some feedback. So we are working in a project together. So when you want really quickly feedback, it's awesome. But sometimes it's nice to work remotely because you are in your home, you can be free to do whatever you want, and you can be really focused to do your work, and I think you have more productive when you work. But it's nice. I think Finsweet is
Jump off the screen, off the,
Yeah.
oh no, what just happened? Did I just delete a bunch of things from the show?
I just quit out of Vimeo.
I know, but I just because it was lagging, we might have a critical failure here, y'all. Okay, as I was deleting a source, there was a lag, and I think I ended up deleting a couple sources. And so I think I screwed up my controls here, but I think we can fake it through the rest of it. Honestly, we're getting some computer lag here. I think playing the video back at the same time is trying to watch and monitor, but let's try a little bit more. So Eve was kind of talking about the same thing, talking about the same thing. We were just talking about how co-working and, being together in person is a little, crap. Okay. I lost my media bin. I lost, ooh. Okay, bear with us. I think we just made some, I don't know what to do here. I'm not sure what to do here. My stream software, I screwed some stuff up when I just dumped that input. When you click something and it lags, and then you click it again, but really it took the action, and so then the next thing that came up into the place is you were clicking, and I was clicking the trash bin, and so I ended up clicking the trash bin a few times there, and I have no idea what is sucking up my.
Just earlier today, we were in the party here, and Weimar said, production video work like this, setting up the stream software, is filled with booby traps. That anywhere you go, something wrong can happen, and we're seeing that right here.
Yeah, this is going to turn out to be a user error because I left Chrome open. Watch. I bet we won't have any more problems. I just closed Chrome on my laptop, and I think that's going to do it. So I guess we are building in public.
We are. Yeah, this is very in public.
One day we're going to look back and laugh at like these early streams and just, I don't know, whatever, from our big studio.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Where somebody else, like some TV crew, is just doing this for us, and we don't have to worry about like trying to talk and produce at the same time. But okay, I think we should be good now. The only problem is I don't have my buttons. I deleted some of I moved around some of the inputs, and so now my Stream Deck is not going to work. So the transitions just won't be as smooth. I presume we won't have CPU issues because Chrome is a hog, and we should be good. But let's go back to a little clip from me, real quick, about what it's like and what the value is. What's cool about working at? Damn it! No, I deleted the. Hang on one second. Let me bring in. Inputs. Where are you? iPad, media, Cam 1. Just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to pull. There we go. Okay, now we got the video back. Okay, so let's do this. And let's just stay in this view for a little bit. All right. So, yeah, let's just see what I got to say here about the value of working at Finsweet and what that's all about.
Yeah. So
Finsweet just committed to making Webflow better. Right? So Webflow is already like a super amazing tool. Visual software development, it allows you to build things that look and feel however you want. There's no limitations to how you can make things look inspected. So, okay. I think we're back. I don't know what's happening here, to be honest. Yeah, this isn't working. Yeah, this is not.
Do you want to play around a little bit? I could talk about attributes.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Audible, jumping into attributes. Attributes.
Trust, man. Just any little thing, you know. There we go. Perfect streaming again. I think we're back. We're back.
Okay. Down to 9 watching.
Yeah.
Let's hope
everybody
people are
left.
coming
We
back
lost.
here.
All right. Tell your friends we're back. We had a major glitch there. The computer was plugged into a power strip, a surge protector, but the surge protector had a switch on it that wasn't switched on. And so that CPU lag and the issues we were having was a dead battery.
Who would have thought?
Oh, the audio is back. The video, hang on, it says saying the video is frozen. Oh, let me check something real quick. No? Okay, so it looks like that audio still hanging in there. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, what should we do, Joe? I think this is a critical failure.
Yeah. Looks like people
video's
bounced
not,
here.
The video's not refreshing.
Okay.
It's like frozen. So it's streaming out. It looks like they got audio, but the video is still frozen. Even on our end, the video's frozen.
Ooh.
Let me do a quick plug and unplug of the HDMI and see if this helps anything. Check, 1, 2. Yeah, nope. All right, well, I guess we're going to learn how not to stream today. So this was a lesson on how to fail epically at a live stream on the road. Oh, man. Well, it's been real, y'all, but we're going to go ahead and call this a loss, and it's a podcast for now. Let's see, can we get, can I at least show this? Okay, so this is working. If I go here, no, it's not. Look at it, it's freezing.
Yeah.
It's it shows it, but it's all frozen.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's like all the inputs. Let me do one more thing. Yeah. No, it's sending the stream. It's just all the inputs are frozen. I think the live stream software is frozen.
Okay. And it looks like most people bounced here.
Yep. It's a critical mission failure, y'all. Wow. Okay. Turn on webcam. It's not that. It's the streaming software is just it's not cooperating. Like all my inputs are frozen. My media bins are frozen. My camera inputs are all frozen. Let's just have a chat in the live stream. Yeah, we can just, yeah, sure. I mean, let's see. Hit a like button, people. Show your love. Yeah, this is learning on the road. This is, I don't know. I literally was talking to Joe on the way over here that it's just a straight booby trap. Production is you never know. And it's the littlest things that throw everything off. And we do this every week. We do, I know exactly what has to happen. The gear works, things work, but one little thing is a tripwire. And you see here how it just, rocks through the whole thing. And so we will regroup and we'll plug the computer in before we start to stream.
Yeah, that's a good one. We'll know that for next time. Always charge.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep going a little bit and answer some questions?
Sure.
Verbally.
Sure. We can do a little audio Q&A if folks want to.
Okay. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay in the stream. We will not answer questions about the live stream setup or technical difficulties. But if you have questions about what happened last week at the Finsweet event, if you have questions about anything in general, now's the time to ask them. Go ahead, type your question in the chat, and we will answer it with voice.
Yeah, and Rohan saying, great time to create a checklist. I have a checklist. It's not, like, there's a little light on the thing, and you think it's running, you think it's plugged in. Like, literally everything's plugged in. It's not like we didn't plug it in. It's like just a little button on the side that just, So it happens. It happens sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Let's see. Okay, let's pretend it's a podcast. There we go. Just do the effing sweet radio call in your chat. There we go. Penny saying not going anywhere. Loving your faces on the freeze frame. Yeah, it's like Joe's calm and collected, and I'm over here ready to rage. That's about how it goes.
We're like that just normally too, in real life. Forget about the freeze.
This is where the Finsweet live streams become the Finsweet podcast, and we just go audio only from now on and just make this easy.
Done. Zero setup. We're ready to go.
Hey, literally just going to plug in a mic to the audio board and just send it. Pablo Cortez says he took a screenshot. Like, it's not just frozen on the screen forever. Like, the last half of this video isn't just going to be that one shot. Just YouTube. And we're going to... Our shit, the live count is increased, actually. There we go. People appreciate not seeing my face more, so they're just tuning in for the voice. Okay. Will there be any Finsweet community after party, etc. for No Code Conf? Ezekiel is asking. Ezekiel, we had plans to do like a pre-party. We were going to do a big pre-party for No Code Conf because officially Webflow was going to do a after party, and so we obviously didn't want to compete with that or detract from that. And so I don't know what we're going to do now, it being fully virtual. We have not actually made our full plans about how we're going to address that. And so, yeah, I can't answer that yet. We will do something, though.
Let's bring in a question from Caleb Rainey. Caleb, nice to see you live on the show. Is attributes replacing the current CMS library, or will they work side by side? It is going to replace the current CMS library. We will keep CMS library live. It's not going to be removed. You can still use what's there live now. But it's being completely rebuilt. There are some problems with CMS library. It's great for many situations, but there's some missing pieces. So we are rolling this type of functionality into attributes. Everything that we do that's free, tool-based, resource-based with code is now going to be attributes. So within a few months, we do expect the entire CMS library to be rolled into attributes, and we will officially label CMS library as deprecated. And I guess that transitions really well into this attributes soft beta launch.
Yeah.
That was on the to-do list for this show. So I'm about to go and share the URL for attributes in this chat. And this is going to be labeled as our soft beta launch. This is what we did for our client-first docs. And it was a huge success. I mean, I think that beta, the private beta of the CMS docs was, not CMS docs, I'm sorry, client-first docs. That was great. We got our closest community giving us information and feedback about what we released, so that when we did do our official release of client-first, it went through some iterations in that beta. So we're taking that same approach with attributes here. It's live, it works, it's all great. We're looking for feedback. We're looking for your comments about this, and we're going to continue iterating on it. This is going to be our official platform moving forward. We're going to stop jumping from this website with this library, this website with this library. Everything is going to live in attributes. Really cool.
Yeah.
So I've shared that in the chat, the URL.
Share. you have that. You still don't have access to
I think I'm blocked. I must be blocked from.
Joe's blocked out of the Finsweek YouTube account. He's not even allowed to comment on his
Every time I comment on this,
send it to me in Slack. And
here, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch
over to
Finsweek.
Finsweek. Yeah.
I'm done using my personal here. All right, now I'm sharing it. I remember the first time we shared the client first boot camp. We shared this link for Client First Bootcamp, and at the end of the episode, I went to check on it, and nobody signed up. And I'm like, what the hell? Nobody signs up for this bootcamp? I was so excited about it. And then I realized that my chats in Joe Krug do not get sent.
Colleen's going to yell at me because she sent me a message last night late, and I was up editing, and I just didn't really have time to jump into it. I need to go in and from the Finsweet account, add Joe Krug as a user, as a moderator.
Yes.
And then the links will show up. And
that's what I need.
So I will do that after the show today. Colleen, that's thanks for calling that out again. She's always on top of it. Okay, let's see. Somebody said, when you're developing for clients, this is Tanette. When you're developing for clients, are we good to move on to the next? Are we done with the...
We do.
Or did you have more about the attributes stuff?
One more thing about attributes, one final thing. So attributes, you can use it inside the link that was just shared, finsweet.com/attributes. You can copy the script in there. You can go ahead and write solutions with the attributes. You find an element, you put the attribute on it, and our documentation should be able to walk you through that. We're working on videos, but we're going to do the videos after this round of beta iterations. You can also use the extension. The extension has attributes inside of it. Now, we've just put an update through 2 days ago. It should be accepted by Google today or tomorrow. And once that's accepted, you're going to be able to use examples inside the extension, inside Webflow Designer, and put those attributes examples inside your project directly from Designer. So look out for that. It integrates, and we're going to continue building this near native experience inside Finsweet extension.
Yeah, nice. Claudia, just because I see you have a time cap here, do you want me to ask anything to the GatherTown folks? So she's talking to GatherTown here shortly. If you're still on there, yeah, tell them to hook us up with a free space for a month or two with like 100 plus capacity, so we can really experiment and decide whether it's something that, you know, we want to put the bucks in.
Yep.
I do also think, you know, it may be a cool thing for us to have that space set up. So yeah, whatever we can do, whatever we can show them or talk to them to figure out the best way to collaborate. Because it'd be cool to have like a no-code mall.
Totally.
You know, co-workspace. You want to walk into the Floxy's community room, you pop over to this portal. You want to walk into the meetup space, come over here. You know, there's an auditorium is over on this side, whatever, and it's just open for the community with capacity. And so the thing is, Gather's expensive for a lot of folks.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's why we haven't really made the investment ourselves, hoping that as part of this Webflow Community Alliance, they might pick up the tab for that. But we will have that conversation actually scheduled for next week.
Yeah.
So we do have a conversation scheduled with Vlad and the community team and the leadership over there next week. And we will keep you posted about the progress on that WCA conversation. Okay, so let's go back to the question I was going to ask before from Tanette. When you're developing for clients, which tools are your go-tos to integrate with? Airtable, etc. We did a whole episode on tools, but do you want to answer a little bit of that?
Well, Tanette, we don't have many official recommendations. We very rarely consult on tools for clients to use. Most of our clients come to us with their tools picked out, and they say, we're using this tool, we want to integrate it with Webflow. So that's how most of them go and move forward. We do like certain tools that we like to work with, for example, Airtable. So if a client is thinking about some type of Airtable integration, we do push that. But I don't really have anything specific for you, and hey, we always recommend HubSpot, or we always recommend Notion, because we just don't. We hear what they want, we let them pick out the tools, and we integrate what they want.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is so dependent on the work you're trying to do. You know, some people may come with some tools baked in the cake, and you have to figure out a way to use them. And other people may be open to your suggestion. Airtable is something we use prolifically. We use it internally. We obviously have the Noble Airtable sync, you know, so you can bring the data back and forth between those using those tools. We're starting to use Notion more and more internally for documentation and processes and other things. We've experimented with ClickUp. We use Slack regularly. What else have we experimented with? Like, what have we tried and kind of like not stuck with? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my mind.
There's so many tools that you could use. This is like an unanswerable question, I think.
It is.
We did do a whole episode about tools, though. So, Tanette, hopefully that answered a little bit of your question. I feel like we probably left you a little ambiguous there, but Mariella, even if we saw only a few seconds from the interviews, you could see that was high quality filmmaking. Yes, the shots are beautiful. This will be great content. We're working on a Finsweet, like an about Finsweet video, a culture video that's kind of just showing the work culture and the team culture, and also like a recruiting video. So what it's like to work at Finsweet, what it takes to, you know, land a gig at Finsweet, how to get on the team kind of thing. And so that's kind of the core components. And then you've heard us talk about this long form piece and the longer pieces that we're trying to put together over the course of the next year and a half, as we travel a little bit more, as we get stories from some of you all, right? There's some folks in the audience right now that we would love to chat with. We've identified a few folks kind of on a short list. There's places that we're stopping that we're going to reach out and see who around there might be interesting. But again, if you're, if you're interested in being a part of this storytelling process, if you're an agency, a creator, a freelancer, if you're a part of the community, especially if you're using Webflow and working remote, we would love to hear from you and figure out how to maybe pull you in on some of that. So any thoughts about storytelling or the video stuff or any of that stuff that's coming?
Yeah, I think we're going to release something really special. That just seeing these clips, seeing the quality of the clips, seeing what happened over this past week live with Finsweet, I know we're going to do big things with this. It's very evident that this type of footage is going to be loved because there's nothing like it out there. So yeah, I really, really encourage anybody that is interested in this, reach out, please. And let's create really nice stories together because I know a lot of you have them.
Yeah, and again, just to recap a little bit on that, most everybody's just creating tutorials, like live instructional content. Super cool. We're doing that as well. That's super valuable. Not a lot of people are kind of focused on the story of the folks that are doing the work and the transformation it's having on people's lives and just the opportunities that people are getting exposed to by virtue of these new no-code tools, by virtue of remote work, and just kind of what's happening in general with this online maker space stuff.
Yeah.
So we want to tell a little bit of that story, and we started capturing it this past weekend and got really excited about where that could end. So again, no real timeline on a lot of that stuff. I think some of the videos will probably be in the tank for a Finsweet. Did we mention that, the rebrand?
Yeah.
So yeah, in the next few months, we will be launching a new Finsweet brand, a whole new look, fresh new website, and about to put the Finsweet stank on it. So the videos will be part of that. They'll be front and center, along with like a hub for the community, easily being able to access all the tools and products and everything. The Finsweet kind of outgrew its current website.
Totally.
The current website is like, hey, we're an agency that builds Webflow websites. But since that site was built, the company has evolved into so many other things, products, community, etc. And the current website doesn't really reflect the full extent of our talent, of our team, and of our services and product offerings. And we want to make sure we encapsulate that in a more clear way for the user, and in a more effective way for us as a business. And so that will be happening over the next couple months, 3, 4 months. I don't know. There's no hard line on that, but it's being worked on, and you'll be the first to know. This stream will be the first place anyone knows about that. So,
and that's the very visual front end reformation of what's happening at Finsweet. That we need to create this new site. We need a better infrastructure to show you everything that we're doing. And now attributes, this is the development reorganization of the company. That we were putting out this little tool and this little tool and this site, and that's great. But as we continue to do these, it's more difficult to find everything. And of course, we know this and we understand it. So this is another type of reorganization for us internally, so that we're able to give you what we're building and we're able to make it more clear in what we're building. So yeah, a lot of things happening here. I think over the next 6 months or so, there will be a lot of big changes, visually and technically.
Yeah, I'm laughing over here because I'm seeing Tommy Gunn's comment. It says, this frame is literally in the motion of Joe about to spit some fire. Either that or he's getting his hands ready to just put a hot one across my face.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Eric Mia is saying, this is actually a perfect situation for the EditInPublic hashtag. It's about pivoting and not stopping. Yeah, I'm glad we kept on voice only. Hopefully y'all are maybe getting a little work done while we're just back here talking shit in the background. Do you see anything else in here? Let's see. It's a takeover. This is so cool. Also, Joe, do you see your chats from? Oh, it's just okay. So Carly's saying the chats are in there. It's just the links don't show. Yeah, we addressed that. We will get that fixed after the show here. Pablo Cortez, what happened to the Client First Bootcamp? I signed up but didn't get any emails back.
Yeah, we have everybody that signed up. We have your record of signing up. We had a lot last week, and I think we underestimated how long things take when you're in person. And we did a lot of work, but there were a lot of things that did not get touched, that did not get handled. And that was one of them. So we just didn't get to it yet. Pablo, we are going to get to it in the next week or two, where we send out this new form to get more information about you and how you can join that bootcamp.
Yeah. And again, that's going to be a limited group.
Super limited.
So this was not a come one, come all. This is going to be a big boot camp. Here's another small group. We tested the boot camp internally. Some of those folks ended up joining. Actually, all of those folks are now still working in some capacity on projects, different things internally. And so we wanted to do another small group to refine that process. And then we'll open this up, I think, a little broader to bigger groups. We just didn't want to... we don't want to have a critical failure like this. Like, this is fun once in a while because we're live and, who cares? It's a YouTube video. In the grand scheme of things, this doesn't mean a whole lot. But when we're talking about teaching people the skills they're going to use to build somebody else's business website or to grow their brand or business or whatever on, we want to make sure we get that right. And
Absolutely.
So, we'll take risks when it comes to streaming on YouTube and publishing a video here or there or whatever it is. But when it comes to the money makers and the client, happy makers, we don't touch those very often. We don't risk that.
And we have good news from Rohan. We're sending it today. So if you signed up for the bootcamp, you will get an email today with a new form that's going to let you put one or multiple sites that you've built with Client First. So we're not looking for people who are brand new to Client First. They've never used it ever, ever, ever. We're not looking for people that are looking to be trained. This is a certification process. So we're going to pick the people that seem to have a good grasp on Client First, and look out for that email. We'll be asking a bunch of questions and picking 5 or 6 people.
Nice. Okay. Maria, you coming to Greece? Maybe. That's not out of the question. Do we talk about, because we had, one of the things we're going to talk about is we've already started talking about our next hangout.
Yes.
So it's looking like April-ish. We don't have any rough dates, but sometime end Q1, maybe early Q2, and end of April. I don't know. We're going to be probably in Europe. I don't know exactly where. I don't know exactly what. but we're going to do this again. We love getting the team together, and one of the things we're for sure going to do is open that up to the community. And so it won't be the whole retreat. It won't be the whole inside baseball thing, but what we'll do is we'll plan a day or two that will be like a come hang out with us and then a come work with us kind of thing. And we'll do like a little mini conference. I don't know how many people we'll plan for. I don't really know how big that will be. We've really just begun to talk about this, but I do think there's a lot of value in opening this up, doing this again, and yeah, we'd love to see you all in person too, and I think people would come out for that. So hope to see some of you in April. Marielle is saying, Greece it is then. Yeah. We will see. Yeah, we are considering all options. So if you know of some cool conference space, if you know of anybody with deals to be had in venues that can host 100 folks or so, let us know. And then again, this will probably be like some kind of, I don't know how we'll do this, but it'll be one of those things that if you say you're coming, like we need to know you're coming because we're gonna like make reservations and stuff on your behalf. So this can't be like a 20% conversion rate, get 1,000 signups and only 50 people show up. It's got to be like we need to know firm. So we'll get more details out on that like as it goes. Just again, tune in here Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be the place where we make any of those announcements. So if you're interested in keeping up with that, if you're interested in kind of following along or being or attending, and it may just be limited release tickets, right? Yeah, it could just be totally. First come, first serve, first people to buy the tickets or grab the tickets or however we decide to do the thing is who gets them. So, and that will likely go out to core community first.
Yes.
So again, you want to be subscribed to the Finsweet. You can go to growth.finsweet.com, make sure you're on the email list, and make sure you're tuning in on Tuesdays to be first in line on that stuff. Okay, any thoughts on that?
It's going to be great. It's going to be even more interesting and even more weird to meet other people in the community.
Yeah.
Because when we met the Finsweet team, we knew about these people, right? Everything was remote, but we've been working with these people for months, sometimes daily. And now when we meet all of you, it's going to be even more of a surprise because we don't really work with you. We see you once per week on the live stream, answer some questions, and that's it.
Right.
So
hang out and gather a little bit.
Yeah. So it's going to be more weird, but it makes it more special because just like we saw with the Finsweet week, it was weird for the first 5 minutes, and then it was totally natural. And I think with this group, with this Finsweet community, it's going to be just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were hoping to meet some of y'all at No Code Conf.
Yeah.
That was going to be like the icebreaker, the warm it up, because that's the first time Joe and I met was just at No Code. We didn't spend a lot of time interacting, but we did say hi. We drank a beer together. So that helps. And so we're hoping to do some of that with all of you again, April next year. So sometime spring, summer next year. Let's see. Colleen Brady, looking at the attributes documentation, like how this will work with the client first approach. Yes.
Totally.
What you're seeing us do now is pull the things together, right? Finsweet has a ton of offerings, a ton of tools, and actually going back to what we were talking about with the website redesign, if you go to the website, there's the big menu, which is like a kind of just a link map. It's a lot of stuff. It's not presented the best way for as much stuff as we do. And right now what you're watching is us trying to consolidate this all, make it easier for the user, the new people who come into the community, the new folks who get exposed to Finsweet. How do we make sure that they get up to speed with you all who have been following along for years now and kind of seeing these things come off one at a time? How do we put all those resources in your hands? What's that workflow look like? What does the communications look like along that path? And so just refining the process. We're a move fast. Then when we look back and see what works, we go back and we refine that, clean it up a little bit, polish it up, and send it out for a V2. And that's how these things grow. A lot of people think these are just like you become successful and people see the polished, perfect thing at the end of the day and they're like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But they don't see this, right? They don't see us failing on the streams. They don't see us launching something and then like it break or a form doesn't work or whatever, whatever support issue may arise or whatever. They don't see that. They just see the end and then they come in, they're like, oh man, like we just need to do this thing. And it's not like that, right? This is a true process of building something cool publicly and super genuine with intention for the community. One of the things I took away from the meetup this week was that everyone that works at Finsweet is just good people. First and foremost, you heard the little clip, if you were with us at the beginning of the show, that Joe's mostly looking for personality fits, for people with good work ethic, people with integrity, people who have good character, because a lot of the rest of this stuff can be taught. It can grow. Like obviously we're looking for talent. It's not to say we're not looking for talent, but there's some other things that are more important to the team and the integrity of what we're doing here. And it was clear coming out of this event that the people who we're working with and interacting with are exactly that. And so, yeah, we're going to continue to do that. I think that's one of the special things about this group is that everyone's just determined to get it done and do something cool and learn and refine that process. So it's like this constant iteration. We're like a living piece of software. It's like this, the MVP, and it's growing and we're adding features and people, and it's like this, it's kind of like this rolling wheel that's catching momentum, and it's going to become a big snowball as it gets down to the bottom of this mountain.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely. That iteration process is so important. We could have waited another 3 or 4 months to launch attributes, and we could have released it in this shiny, perfect form. But we don't really want to do that. We want to be more collaborative with the community. We want to iterate publicly. That's what we did with the client-first documentation. It was a huge success, and that's what we're doing with attributes right now. Here, take it. It's not perfect, but it's good and it works, and we want you to comment on it. And that same process is happening at Finsweet, just like Reimar says, that we're doing things, we're seeing how they work, and we want your feedback to know if we should keep doing it, pivot, change it, iterate, or whatever. So yeah, this is happening everywhere. Just release it, just do it, and then change it as people use it. It's really powerful.
Yeah. Okay, Caleb is saying the edit link blocks in editor is huge.
It is.
Yeah, that is major. Yeah. If you don't know, with the extension, native Webflow, you cannot edit link blocks. I'm waiting for people to be like doing tutorials and just get used to and think that that's like a Webflow native feature.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're like using it without telling people that they're using the browser extension, and they're showing off like the editor, and they change a link block, and then their client or somebody else goes and doesn't have the extension, and they realize like, no, that's a sweet upgrade. That's an effing sweet upgrade right there.
I think that's going to happen more and more as we start building out this extension. We're getting a lot of messages and comments from people saying how important certain features are in their workflow now. So yeah, once those start to show up in tutorials, I think we're going to have some lost newbies just not sure how this is happening in Webflow. So yeah, that's cool. I'm excited for that.
Or looking for it too, right? So like they'll watch a video and they'll see the little button and those options, the little sidebar popping out, and they'll see that whole thing. And then when they go into their interface, it just won't exist.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, wait, do I have a defective version here? Or
do I need to upgrade?
Right. So if you're making content about this stuff and you're using the extension, make sure you're letting people know. This isn't, obviously selfishly, we want everyone to know, as many people as possible to know about the extension. But just for the sake of users and folks who are going to come behind and watch that stuff, let them know that you're manipulating the Webflow designer a little bit by using the extension, and that's where that added functionality comes from. John Saunders is doing a good job with that. He's using the 301 redirects all the time. He's posted a few times about that, and just share. And then the Finsweet family comes and supports your post. Right, you tag Finsweet, you share some content with us, we share it in Slack, and then next thing you know, you got a little hype on the web. It's a good way. Again, let's go back to that reciprocal sharing engine. So
yeah, and you should know that anytime you say something cool about Finsweet or our products or the way that we do things, we're usually sharing that in our team Slack. So if you want to say something to the Finsweet team, it's not just talking to the person managing the Twitter account. It's usually sharing it with the entire team. And people get excited about that stuff. We share it with our whole team because it motivates our team. So if we get a great comment about Client First, everybody that works on Client First is seeing your comment.
Yeah, and we're going to do more with that. I was just talking to Joe before the show today saying we should do like a Twitter roundup. You know, I don't know if that's weekly, I don't know if that's monthly, I don't know how, when, what, but just pulling some of the best tweets related to Webflow, Finsweet, Client First. Like there's lots of people using this Client First. And lots of people are searching for it. That first live build video is over 20,000 views already.
Yeah,
which
amazing.
is crazy.
Amazing.
And that's like in a month. So lots of people looking for this, and y'all are engaging with us, and we want to reciprocate. Again, we want to like showcase that. So we'll start looking for tweets, and we'll post those tweets. We'll share those tweets. We do. I try to retweet as often as possible. So anyway. Let's see what's coming in the comments. Maria, my lovelies, pizzas and cocktails are waiting for me. Hear you next time. Oh, I wish pizzas and cocktails were waiting for me. So enjoy that, Maria. Penny, Client First is making my current build so much easier. I'm using one of the templates, which helps me understand it while also getting better with Webflow. Yeah.
We love to hear that, Penny. Thank you. That's exactly what we're doing it for.
Yeah. Carly Bruce, yes, so excited for that. My clients are too. We want fancy editable buttons. Great. Give them all the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big limitation having to use link blocks versus buttons sometimes, and not being able to edit some of that stuff. And so I wonder why that is. Like why?
I don't know. It's a weird issue, limitation, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there's been a few times with clients that we build the whole site, and then we look back and say, whoa, this needs to be editable, and the whole site is built with this, and it's now a very important thing for the client to edit.
Right.
So instead of going back to change all of those, you can use this attribute to transform the site to make it more editable. So yeah, that's, we build things because we have these as our own problems as a company.
Right. And it's not acceptable to tell a client, like, imagine you're painting this picture of this editor to a client, and they go add a button because they don't know, or they go add go add something because they don't know, and there's this limitation, and then they get mad at you, right? And so at the end of the day, like, this is about keeping the client happy and making it easier for you all to use the tool, and whatever else comes from that is icing on the cake. So let's see what else. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Newcomers are going to be overwhelmed. One more good reason to have some overhauled documentation to point folks to. Definitely.
Yes.
Non-editable link blocks plus not being able to add PDFs in editor is such a weird limitation. Yeah, I don't know where those come from. I don't know what the process is behind the scenes that led to that. I'm sure there's a good reason somewhere. But yeah, you can fix it with the extension. So, Jay, any examples of attributes usage now? I know you didn't make videos yet, was just wondering.
Yes, Jay. The Chrome extension is about to be approved by the Chrome store. So I don't believe it's in the Chrome extension right now at the time of speaking, but within a few hours, within a day, you will be able to access a fully working version of attributes, examples, right inside of the Chrome extension. So you'll be able to go through every single thing that's live, and there'll be multiple examples that you can copy and paste the entire structure of to your Webflow build. So if you want an example of disable scrolling, you can take example 1, 2, 3, or 4 and watch that working live. So if you don't understand what an attribute is going to do, or how it works, or how to apply the attributes, we have these pre-made examples ready for you to use. By tomorrow, that should be accepted, so give it a check tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you're just joining us and seeing the frozen picture of what looks like me about to slam my headphones, and Joe, I don't know, he's either looking peaceful or looking ready to slap me. We had a freeze on the screen. I'm pretty sure it's not getting ready to slap me. One of the things I learned about Joe in person is that he's as calm and cool in person as he is on the screens. So He's got a very mild demeanor, very composed demeanor, very stoic, if you will, in a lot of ways, which is something I aspire to a little bit. I'm kind of a hothead. I'm ready to rumble.
Man, Reimar has some stories.
Oh.
I'll leave it right at that. But if you meet Reimar in person, he's going to tell you some great stories.
Yeah. I'm a storyteller. I live life for the stories. Like this is why I love stories from people. I love sharing stories. I love hearing stories. So Colleen again is saying here, being able to edit link blocks was part of a forum discussion recently. Updated a thread during a stream with this new feature. Yeah, Colleen, great, appreciate that. This is why Colleen is a superstar. She's like literally got her tentacles everywhere. Yeah, things happen like this all the time where Colleen's just got a little note or a little suggestion or a little something that just connects a couple dots, and you're just like, all right, great, that was very useful. So thanks again, Colleen.
Thank you.
Let's see. I think that's it. What do we think about this podcast version, huh?
And that's cool. We've been hovering around 40 people for the stream. So that means at least 40 people find our voices only appealing enough to stick around. That's good. But this is not exactly the episode we had in mind. So I think we will reschedule this. Maybe it's next week. Maybe we do some clips on Thursday. I don't know. But we want to show you this footage. We want to show you what happened last week. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, let's see, Penny, Colleen Brady, Queen of No Code.
I like that, man.
I agree. Yeah. It's official, Colleen.
You should put that in your Twitter description, Colleen.
There you go. It has been dubbed. Take a knee.
Trademark it.
I like part of me likes the voice thing. I love the stream, and I think the video is good, but there's also something about the audio. I'm a big podcast person. I listen to podcasts pretty regularly, and there's something about being able to like do other things while you have the voice and the context in the background. So it's just kind of a distraction. You can tune in, you can tune out. If something's interesting, you rewind a little bit. I'm not saying we're doing a Finsweek podcast or that we're going to stop the streams here, but it does show a little bit of something of you all even hanging out with us after the stream died down. So after the visuals died. So thanks for hanging. Let's see. Equipment share. You're validating YouTube making a Clubhouse Spaces clone. Is that happening?
Nice.
No, I don't think that's happening, is it?
No.
I don't think it's not doing that. It's just...
But wow, Equipment Share is an active Finsweek client. So we have our clients on Effing Growth right now. That's awesome.
Hello, clients. Don't judge us based on our frozen screens here.
The agency work it's run by somebody else. Don't worry.
Reimar doesn't touch agency work. Oh, man. I only touch the experimental stuff, Oh, well, I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and actually call this thing. Let's say you're a podcast. The Twitter Spaces is good for them, too. Yeah, for sure. We do a lot. We'll be back tomorrow. We will stream the Floxies. I will make sure the computer is running nice and ready for them. That's going to be, again, a one-way only stream. I will be taking questions and kind of feeding it to them if there's anything interesting that comes up from the stream. And again, expect us to just keep experimenting with content, right? Just like we're experimenting with code. The thing is, when you experiment with code, it's a lot less public, right? When you experiment with code, you're playing in your own box. And if you break something, you just revert and, you revert a backup, or you refresh the site and it's fixed with a little fix. When you're live or when you're doing video work and you break something, it's like, it's super visible. And so this is the same stuff that's happening all over Finsweet. We just happen to be doing it quite publicly here with the video stuff. And so, again, bear with us as we figure all this out. At the end of my little road trip, the goal is to rebuild a studio. I shut down a studio January of this past year when I came, actually the beginning of this year. When I joined Finsweet, it was October 5th, I think was my official start date. I got big time. They tried to jack my rent up at the studio, and I wasn't willing to pay like triple the rent at the time, just to keep a little video space. And I knew that we were going to be traveling a little bit, so we just shut the studio down, started saving a little bit of money to help with fund some of our traveling efforts. And I still have a goal of having an operational video studio at some point in the near future. So whenever this is over, yeah, we'll be looking for a city or a place or somewhere to build a little something. So again, lots of big plans, and one day we'll look back and laugh at all this. So thanks for being here to laugh with us, and glad we can laugh together. So hopefully you got a little bit of value out of the stream, even after we dumped the CPU and the image there. Any final words, Joe, that you want to share before we go?
Yeah, reiterate, thank you all for coming. It's really cool that everybody's sticking around here and just enjoys hanging out. Really, really special to us. I'll give my final words on the attribute side. If you have comments, if you have concerns, if you have anything, contact us. You can send us a message in lots of places. We don't have anything official for comments on this. Find us on Twitter, find us on YouTube, find us an email, find us in the forum. Wherever you can find us, we're listening, and we want to hear what you think about this attributes platform.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Wherever you are, I'll be there. Okay.
Maybe it should turn into a music show.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks.
We appreciate all of you. We will catch you tomorrow for the Floxy's community live stream. Thursday, we're going to have a live build again. So we'll do a community client first live build. And then it's off to Guadalajara, so for some tequila. So I'm gonna go relax and break my computer, I think, and yeah, we'll be back.